everyone. Welcome to the final session here on Stage C. Let's get a show of hands. How many folks flew in here from Luxembourg today? Or this week? Amazing. Well, if you did, there's probably a chance that you flew in through Luxair. And so this next session is going to be about the dark side of IT and what you learn from that. And we'll be having the CEO of Luxair, Gilles Feith, come join us on stage to talk about all of those learnings, leading Luxembourg's airline and the cybersecurity and IT behind it all. So with that, let's welcome Gilles to the stage.
Hello, everybody. It has been some time that I have been on a stage in a digital context, and I wanted to speak about the dark side of IT, when projects miss their connection and why that's okay. Bon, hello, bonjour à tous. I'm Gilles Feith, CEO of Luxair, long time ago, CIO of the Luxembourg government, director of the government IT center, and once upon a time, CIO of the year from the PwC selected that. These days, I'm on the other side. I'm no longer the one helping designing the digital transformation. Unfortunately, I have to pay for it, which gives me a unique perspective. One foot in the trenches of IT, the other in the cabin, watching the projects get delayed, rerouted, stuck, holding patterns, and there's the thing no one likes to admit, most projects suck. The success story, it's an illusion. Let's be honest, we have these events here, but it's like LinkedIn. Everybody, it's all about success, it's no mess, we can do this, we will do that, we will improve this. But no one gets here and says, well, we spent 12 million euros to digitalize a PDF. But that's exactly how my guichet started back in the times. You can't hear me? Yeah, okay. That's exactly how my guichet started in the times. We started to create a PDF which was printed in the back office, and we have done some digital things. Of course, for much less money, because public money, we have to be very careful. Today, things are really better. So we have digital procedures, we have a mobile app, and so on. So there's a lot happened since then. At least I like to believe that it is much better. But there's one truth behind digital projects. I think Bill Gates said, success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. And that's actually very, very true. But let's face it, we have the beautiful disaster of IT. First of all, and I will cite 3 causes, we have projects that disappear. Some projects just fade out. No announcement, we stop mentioning them in the steer course, silently agree that they forget to exist. These are the Walking Dead, you all know the series. These were the Walking Dead of IT projects. Not officially dead, definitely not alive. Somehow they find their way into the budget presentations and so on. They lurk in our portfolios. A collective nightmare, some ancient project manager might recall the disasters we had with them. And we have all had that one project we found no one would ask about again. Then, we have the project that never ends. Go live is in Q4. I have many of those also in Luxair. Go live is in Q4. Which year? You should ask. Sometimes agile feels a little bit like eternal. I tend to recall to my people that a project without a deadline is basically a hobby. We have some hobbies in the company I work for. And then we have the worst part of it. We have the projects which are too big to fail. I see some familiar faces here. They all know what I'm speaking of. The projects that become too political, too visible, so that they cannot be shut down. Many of you in the room have seen these high-profile, politically sensitive projects with press releases and so on, which then fade into silence. You know the ones too big to fail, too painful to admit, they are off track. Everyone knows it's a mess, but no one dares to say it, or no one dares to pull the plug. I had to pull some plugs in Luxair on some of these projects. Instead, what do? We are project managers. We write reports. We restructure the steering committees. Mostly it's the people. And then we hope that the next reorganization or the next business shift will finally get rid of these projects. So, yeah, these are the painful ones. But I think we should ask ourselves, why do these projects fail? What I saw, like now in being way too long around IT, I think I started in the Government IT Center in 2010. What I see is that most often the main cause, maybe, is that they are too complex, too big to deliver. Some projects fail because they are too complicated, too abstract, especially, and I know some of those, I don't know if Jean-Pierre is here, especially, for example, I'm thinking about tax. This is legacy systems. They were purpose-built, where all the knowledge is in one head, which goes into pension like in 6 months, and nothing was documented, and we don't know why they work, but they still work. Then we start these waterfall charts, and what we get is most often a tsunami at the end. Like all the water comes, and then everything moves to the right and gets compressed, and we get the waterfall chart tsunami. So what I saw, and I had one of these projects, it was about 10 binders full. Most often, these projects, people cannot comprehend, because nobody, and not even the project managers, can wrap their head around the complexity of these projects. The users are confused, they don't really know. The sponsors, yeah, they get tired because they don't get anything, and the waterfall keeps sliding to the right and keeps compressing. Imagine the tsunami. And then, what do? Well, we are good people. We take 5 BAs. We start mapping the business processes. And then, when we want to develop them, what happens? But they changed. That's how it is. Huh? And let's not forget, the projects are often business critical, most of the times. You can't just switch them off, get rid of it. A big bang replacement will not work. So we do this on the fly. And it's kind of heavy. So first cause, too complex to deliver. And then the second cause, I would say equally as important, is failure is not allowed. Back in the days, public money, you don't want to fail. There's a project which is important, you don't want to fail. Failure is not allowed. So in many public and corporate environments, failure equals shame. That's how it is. We did not succeed. But in IT and innovation, it's absolutely normal to fail. It's essential to fail. Failure, Arina Huffington from Huffington Post said, she created that like back in the days, failure is not the opposite of success. No, it's part of success. There is no success without failure. Then you all learn it, you all know it. We need permissions. We managers need to give permissions to our people to fail early, to fail fast, to learn fast, and just move on. This is Eric Ries from the Lean Startup who said that. Then the third cause is, it's more difficult. Huh? That's when the people problems, they start to masquerade, or when we hide the people problems behind IT problems. So it's never the people, it's always the cause of IT. So everybody loves to blame the tech because nobody understands exactly what happens there. So that's one thing. But 9 times out of 10, I did not verify that statistics. Huh? 9 times out of 10, it's not the tech. It's us, it's the business. Huh? So too often the business side delegates something to some poor bastard of project management. I should not say bastard, I did not say that. To some project manager, some PMO, some business analyst. without basically bothering about what he does and without validating and so on. We all know it. So the requirements are not validated. We have no real commitment. And testing, what's testing? That somebody can do who never seen the process at all. So we should not test them. Testing is boring. I see this. I had a meeting last week about testing. If you look at our new booking flow, there's some optimization possible. Look at the UX, we are working on it. Then, often we like to take shortcuts. We skip the functional designs. Documentation is a little bit vague. Reaching the go live is more than lighting a candle in the cathedral and a hope than a plan. And then when we get to some go live, nobody knows what's live, what's going to be live, what are the functionalities which are going live. So we actually, and when we then go live, somebody, oh gee, why did we put that into production? We don't know. So basically, we don't fail because the systems are bad. We fail because we never really agree what actually we want to see. So somebody does something, some pure business analyst does what he thinks. And so there's one book I really like. It's called Extreme Ownership, Jocko Willink. It's about US SEAL teams. It's a little bit not in the era of time today with the world we are living in, but I definitely recommend it because there's one quote I try to take for myself all the time. There are no bad teams. There's only bad leaders. So what should we do to succeed? I have 3 minutes. So we should start small. The best projects are the ones which are modest, clear in scope, and powered by user feedback. So we need to work with the business people. We have to start with one form, and then we have to build it. We have to keep it simple and stupid. That's how it is. Even a big project, we should consider like in IKEA furniture, just one screw, one task at a time, and then afterwards it's there. Because if we break it down, if we slice it down, we can comprehend. We cannot comprehend 10 binders of data. And then there will be no tada, there will be no huge go thing, but it will work. And then we will be in version 2.5 or 2.6 or 3.7 when the other project is never delivered. So that's how we should start. Small wins builds trust, also from the business, so they see that something is happening. Then we tend to celebrate go lives. Champagne, yes, we have a go live. I like to celebrate, so let's celebrate actually the lessons we learned in a project. Because first of all, we get to celebrate much more often, and we might actually reach the go live at the end. So we need to say what we tried, we need to say what we failed in, and what did we actually learn. So let's, Oscar Wilde said it, experience is simply the name we give to our mistakes. So let's celebrate our mistakes, learn from them, and not do them again. And then there's an important one, it's culture needs to come over code. So we need to work together as an entity. If your team is afraid to raise a red flag, some people might be a little bit scary, I don't know, I don't get that. Innovation dies, it simply dies, it goes away, the people will just hide. The best digital cultures I've seen embrace experimentation, protection. We launch it together. If we want to grow, failure is basically the springboard to do this. So, conclusion, I have 1 minute 52, I will be in time. Being a CIO taught me how to build big complex projects, manage them somehow. Being the CEO taught me how to live with what we build. And sometimes that's harder. Both taught me that failure is part of the journey. We have to admit it. But learning is a choice. Sometimes we just don't want to learn out of these projects. And it's painful to do a post-mortem. Sometimes we just skip them. So we just ignore it. We don't talk to the business consultants anymore. We don't do everything. So yes, we should continue to build our future. But let's also be honest about the turbulences, the reroutes, and the unexpected holding patterns we have to go. Because sometimes the smoothest landing comes after the rockiest descent. And next time you hear about the successful transformation, I beg you to ask what they learned while failing in that successful transformation. And if they say nothing, they have not succeeded yet. Well, thank you everybody. I have 42 seconds. And may your next project succeed. Or fail fast enough so that you can still correct it. Thanks, guys.